What we're looking for is high energy and focus, attention to detail. When you're struggling, the only way to get out is to fight and to execute. And it sounds cliche, but it's true. You got to compete and you've got to lock in on the details. And so we had a good practice today. Got a lot of good work in and get ready for Indiana tomorrow.
Ron Adams has a lot of experience with young rosters and kind of rebuilding type situations. How helpful has he been in his new role?
He's been great. Ron has seen it all in the NBA. So this year is maybe foreign to a lot of us. It's not foreign to him. He's been in these situations before, so it's good to have that kind of experience. We meet as a staff every day before practice and talk about what's important, big picture and small. And Ron is somebody I lean on constantly for pearls of wisdom, for detail of what's important in a day like today, coming off of a bad loss. What do we need to focus on? And it's comforting for me as still a young coach to be able to lean on Ron, somebody who's been there before, and hear his experience.
Has it been a little strange not having him on the road as much? Do you call him at times?
Yeah, I miss him. He has gone on the road occasionally, but Ron is somebody I really enjoy being around, even just socially, just not even talking about basketball, but he's got a great sense of humor, a great worldly way about him, and so I miss our conversation on the road, but he's still a big part of everything.
What are your thoughts on Jacob Evans, how he played last night, and just sort of bigger picture, how the injuries have sort of come to
Well, we're going to send Jacob to Santa Cruz. He's there tonight through Sunday, and then he'll come with us on the East Coast trip. So this will give him a chance to play bigger minutes, to develop a rhythm. I think the injury set him back a little bit. These last few weeks have been tough, even before the injury. Hasn't really been able to get himself going. We haven't been able to help him get going. So we feel like this is a perfect time for him to get some playing time, some reps in Santa Cruz, and then rejoin us for the trip.
Jacob Evans is a guy who obviously came in with a lot of hype defensively. What have you thought about his progress on that side of the game?
I think he's been good defensively. He's a big, strong, smart defender. He's picked up a lot in his year and a half in the league. So he's a guy I can trust and count on defensively. But like everybody in this disjointed season, it's been tough for him to find a niche. I always said it as a player, it was a lot harder to find a role on a bad team than it was on a good team. On a good team, you know exactly what's being accomplished, what the coach wants, what the team is trying to do. It's easy to see where you're needed, and then you find a niche within all of that. In a season like ours, we're scrambling. We're changing starting lineups. We're changing the rotation. We got injuries. We got all kinds of stuff. So it's been much tougher for Jacob to find a niche, find a role. And so like everybody, he's fighting through the season and just trying to get better in the midst of the difficulty.
Jordan was talking a little bit about how much it meant to him earlier in the season when he was struggling. To have you and Chris DeMarco and some just reinforcing him and reminding him that you're drafting him for a reason, you're here for a reason. You're dealing with a young guy who might be struggling at times. How important is it just to constantly reinforce and remind them that they're here for a reason?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what coaching is about, is trying to balance the messaging every day. You want the players to understand what's expected of them, but you also want to give them confidence, give them motivation, and you have to figure out when you can admonish them, when you should encourage them, everybody's different as a human being. That's kind of what makes coaching fun, is you try to figure out the best way to reach someone and help them get better.
The Indiana, you don't really hear much about him. They're a 6 seed right now.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the job that he's done without Big Brother?
Nate's been incredible. Really, the last couple of years, he's done a fantastic job in Indiana, and this year, especially without Oladipo, losing Bogdanovich, to have that team where he does, testament to Nate and his staff, and he's been a really good coach in this league for a long time, and he's done a hell of a job with the Pacers.
Yesterday, I think you only had 9 guys. With someone like Smiley, is it just better to have him for like more minutes in the G League rather than bring him up? Just kind of come up.
Yeah, I mean, we look more at positionally how many players we have, and so we have. Right now, we have plenty of centers. We've got Marquise and Omari and Willie and Draymond, who we like to play at the 5. So even though I think we had 10 healthy guys last night, but just bringing him up because we have an empty roster spot doesn't make that much sense to us. Just because you're taking away playing time and practice time in Santa Cruz and not really able to give him a whole lot of time here. So, it was great to bring Smiley up for a couple weeks, get him in the game, let him feel the NBA. I thought he did really well. And now it's great that he's in Santa Cruz playing big minutes and continuing to learn from Chris and his staff and getting better and better. We're really excited about Smiley. 19 years old, just a kid. But competitive and skilled, and it's just, we can't expect too much too soon. Thanks, everybody.